Can you tell us why the sense of common humanity is so important to self-compassion?
Yes, a lot of people have talked about the importance of self-acceptance and self-love, and it's true these are very important, but sometimes if we go too far down that road, we can start becoming too self-focused, too self-absorbed. The thing that's really nice about self-compassion is it's inclusive. So when you take the perspective of a compassionate other towards yourself, you're automatically broadening your point of view, which means you aren't so self-absorbed. A lot of people, when they notice something about themselves they don't like or something goes wrong, they irrationally feel as if they're the only ones having this problem. Again, it's not a logical process, but it's, again, somehow I'm supposed to be perfect, things are supposed to be going well, what's wrong, what's happened? And when that feeling of this shouldn't be happening comes up, then we often feel very isolated, we often feel very lonely, we just feel really cut off from others and separate. So the sense of common humanity helps us realize that, again, we're all in the same position, we're all in the same boat.
Well, can you give us a personal example of that?
Yeah, I can actually. My son's autistic, and when I first got the diagnosis, I felt very cut off and separate from others, and kind of, I admit I started walking down the path of self-pity. Why me? I'd be at the park playing with my son, and I'd see all the other kids happily playing and interacting with their parents, and my son was in the corner banging his toys on things. But then I would remember self-compassion. Thank God I had the practice by then. And I'd remember, well, wait a second. Yeah, my son has autism, but most parents have some struggle with their children. Maybe it's not autism, maybe it's something else. Parenting involves having difficulties with your children, and in fact, a lot of parents have much more difficult conditions to deal with their children. So when I started going down that path, the path of common humanity, I actually started feeling more connected to other parents as opposed to feeling separate and cut off. And then what that would also do is help me remember the joys of parenting as well as the difficulties. So I could actually use the experience of the suffering with my child as a way to feel more connected to other people as opposed to feeling more separate.
So with self-compassion, we see ourselves as interconnected with others?
Exactly. So the common humanity of self-compassion recognizes that who we are is deeply interwoven with lots of factors that we normally wouldn't consider me. Your genes, for instance, did you choose your genes? Your early family history, your culture, how your other kids treated you at school, your stress level. All these factors are very powerful shapers of who we are and how we behave. I mean, just think, if you could just snap your fingers and get rid of your anger issue or your anxiety, wouldn't you do that? No, you can't do that. Why can't you? Because those things aren't really under your control. So self-compassion recognizes that, we come by our foibles and faults honestly, and it's okay, we can accept ourselves. It doesn't mean we don't try to change or improve. We don't have to beat ourselves up for the fact that, we aren't perfect. And think about it, would you really want to be perfect anyway? I mean, it'd be kind of boring if we were all Ken and Barbie dolls. There's this great video by, I think Liam Sullivan's his name, called Let Me Borrow That Top. And the best line in the video is he says, he plays this teenage girl, Kelly, who says, I've already been to heaven. After 5 minutes, I was like, let's go. But isn't it true? Wouldn't life be so boring if we were all perfect? One of the beauties of human life is that it's unpredictable. We make mistakes, things go wrong, and that's what makes it interesting. As long as we hold it with compassion, it can be something of beauty as opposed to this terrible tragedy.